So we have some real cyclocross weather happening now, and we're going to talk about two different ways to pick up your bike. If you're just running some barriers, or if it's a short run where you're not going to have the bike off the ground for a long period of time, you pick the bike up from the top tube and one of the handlebars. So this is the reason why you bring the hand to the top tube when you're getting ready to dismount. You always want to pick up the bike in a way so right at its center of gravity, so you're not picking it up here, it gets all screwy, you're not picking it up here, so that way. You want to find right in the middle of the bike so you can pick it up nicely like that. Also, when you're picking up the bike, we want to keep the saddle outside of the elbow. Don't pick up the bike like this, with the saddle up inside your armpit. That's called suitcasing, and we want to avoid that. So keep the bike outside of your elbow. You can actually use the bike to shield yourself from other riders as you're going over the barriers. So that's one way of picking up the bike. If you're gonna have to run for a while through a sand pit or up a flight of stairs or up a long run up, then you're gonna have to shoulder the bike. So as you're going to dismount, rather than putting the hand here, once you're off the bike, you're going to reach down, grab the down tube, hoist the bike up onto your shoulder, and then there's two places that you can grab the handlebar. You can go, and I prefer this way, you go under the down tube and grab this far handlebar like that. So then the bike is tucked into you nicely as you run. It's kind of part of your body. You can also wrap around the head tube. Some people prefer this. I find that it shifts the bike too far forward, and then I have a lot of bike behind me and it moves around a lot. But for some bigger riders, this is the only option. But again, I prefer under the down tube. It keeps the bike nice and tucked in close to my body, and I can still run with it. So this is what it looks like in practice. Everything is the same up until the point that you actually pick up the bike. Just riding around like normal, dismount, down here to the down tube, hoist the bike, bring it around, and now it's tucked in, and you can run with the bike. It's sort of part of you. When you go to put the bike back down, grab that down tube again and put the bike down nice and light before you remount it. You often see riders just dropping their bike on the ground after they've shouldered it, and that's when you're going to drop a chain if you set the bike down sort of like that. That's a great way to drop your chain in the middle of a race. Okay, earlier we talked about shouldering the bike or picking up the bike. Here's a set of stairs that you're obviously going to have to get off your bike for, but you don't have to shoulder the bike. For this, you would just pick up the bike in the normal way with the hand on the top tube, making sure not to bring the saddle up into your armpit. So here's what this would look like. Approach just as normal. You swing the leg over, hand to the top tube, dismount, and just pick the bike up, set it back down, and then remount. Here's a longer set of stairs, and you would definitely want to shoulder the bike for this one because you're really going to have to run it. And there might be people running alongside you, and you're going to need to cut a smaller profile. So just like we did before, you're going to be reaching for that down tube rather than the top tube when you go to pick the bike up. So here's what it's going to look like. You come into the obstacle, swing the leg over, hand goes to the down tube, pick the bike up onto the shoulder, hand under the top tube to the handlebar, run the stairs, set the bike down, and remount.